Hey guys, Anthony here. We are going to walk through using XpressDocs to create targeted address lists that you can then send mailers to and that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you how to do this. First and foremost, you will log on to CB Exchange and then click on XpressDocs to get to this platform. And once you do so, this is the homepage you will encounter. And the very first thing you want to do in XpressDocs is make sure your profile is correct. So if you click on My Account, it'll bring you to the information. And every piece that you create will have this information on the back, so it's very important that this is all accurate. Make sure you have your headshot loaded. If you have any additional logos, it will already include Coldwell Banker logos, but if you have additional like team logos or business logos, you can do that here. Okay? So what we're specifically talking about is manage address lists. So let's click on that. And it takes you to the options that you can use to target different addresses. So the very first thing you'll encounter, you can actually upload your own to this list and then send mailers to them directly. So that's an option. The next couple that we're going to talk about is targeting and finding these. So first one, let's go to radius list. So if I click on that, I'm simply going to enter an address that I want to target around. So let's just say I sold this home. I want to target 100 different addresses around this particular home. So I can also select if single family or if there are multifamily homes as well. And then I just click search. So that will run the search and bring up everything that's stored in a radius around that area. Now, you can always expand the radius. It's not by mileage. It's expanding the radius by quantity. Okay, so if I want more, I would put in 500 addresses. To get this list, it is a cost. It's 5 cents per address on this particular address list. Okay, so just be aware that 100 is going to cost you $5. However, you can save these and use them for the future. So it's excellent for prospecting if you want to target a specific neighborhood. So as you can see, these are the different streets. You can see the amount of addresses on those streets. Okay. And if I scroll down a little further, I can view all of them all on one. So if I click view all, it will produce an entire list that I can check and uncheck homes and decide which ones I want to go on that list. While we're waiting for that to load, you also have these options that when you mail it, you can have the owner name printed, or you can replace the name with something that you choose. You can also add or resident or occupant just in case there's an owner of the home and someone else. So it's produced that list below, and I wanted to show you what it looked like. So this is now in the view of seeing all the different addresses that are listed out. And if I uncheck them, it won't be included. If I check it, it will be. Okay. So this is the point where I can start narrowing down if I decide, well, I only need 70 of these because a few of these I know aren't going to sell their home or they don't care about my mailers, whatever it is, you can just deselect that. And then once you're done, click Update List, and that'll bring you back to this viewpoint. And if you like those lists, you're good to go. Your next thing is to click Agree and Approve. And what that does, that'll save that list, and this is the name of your list. Okay, and then you can reference it later. So let's go back. I want to show you some of the other options that you had there. And I'm just clicking back a few times so I can get to street list and demographics next. You can do the same thing with street lists. So let's just say I want to do Copen State Lane, and I want to do zip code. I then click Add Street, and you can see that there's 2 addresses that it populates. Okay, so pretty easy, very similar. Okay, now we want to get into demographics, and this is a really cool feature. So on demographics, you have a lot of different lists, and you can see this is by a consumer database. Okay. You've got different options here. And for some of these different lists, they're different costs. The more information you require, the more it's going to cost per address. So just be aware of that. Okay. But I can go in and let's just say I want to do this particular one. I can now customize my search with different age ranges, incomes, by gender, residence value, net worth, owner, renter, all these things. So it's a great way that you can narrow down this information really quickly. Once you produce that, click Next, and you can see it's going to tell you how much it's going to cost. And note, single use, you use it one time. Multiple use, you can use it over and over again and keep prospecting mailers to that neighborhood. Marketing is not about a one and done. A layered approach to your marketing and a long, sustained campaign will pay off dividends compared to I sent 1,000 postcards one time. You hear Sean Carpenter talk about a lot about that. Instead of sending 1,000 one time, you send 100 10 times. Okay, that makes a big impact. So once you click Next, it'll take you to the demographic distance. Okay, so let's just say zip code. I want to do on this one. And I'm going to type in the zip codes. But it'll have you further narrow this down, okay? And then lastly, mail to all addresses or mail to certain addresses because it's pulled 7,000 addresses. So I'm just going to say I want 100. That's all I can afford right now. And I do want multiple use. And boom, you are about to order 100 addresses. And I can rename my list. So let's just say it's 7 Copenhagen. And then lastly, when you're done, you'll click Agree to the terms and conditions and click Approve. That is the point at which you'll have to pay for this list. So I hope that helps. If you got any questions, let me know. We're going to do multiple